Good day, everyone. I am pleased to be here today to give my speech about how important love and affection is and why they are important to conquer stress and many mental illnesses. During a lifetime, people can feel the crazy ups and downs of the world. Sometimes they can get very happy, but sometimes those happiness can suddenly get thrown away by the suffering of all the sad moments in our life. Those sad moments can sometimes drive people to stress and potentially cause depression and many other mental problems which can lead to a disease such as Alzheimer. I myself also had a moment where I suffered from a tremendous stress. It was because on 6th February 2016, my family received news about the passing of my dear grandmother. My grandmother, she was an angel in person for me. She used to take care of me when my parents were busy. I used to tell her my daily stories, and she listened to everything that I wanted to say. She was the person that would listen to me, and I was such an introverted kid at that time. And until that moment, I always had a call with her, usually twice a week, just to tell her a story about my daily life. Her passing made me feel lonely, made me feel sad because I didn't have anyone to tell my stories to anymore. And those sad feelings drove me to an even bigger problem where I found myself struggling in my daily activities, especially that involved school and education. The feeling of losing someone that I love gave me multiple problems, such as the loss of appetite, the loss of interest, especially that regards education and study, losing the energy to do my daily activity, feeling unease in each of my night, and making an assumption that I'm worthless. Like, why should I even continue my life when there is nothing to comfort me again? And at the moment, I was diagnosed for having a potential depression by my counseling guidance teacher. They realized that I might have depression because I was showing signs like hopeless outlook, the loss of interest, having loss in appetite, and showing an uncontrollable mood swings during the class. And those days used to be a big problem for me. But once my friend knew that I was having a problem, they helped me get through those problems. They listened to me whenever I need someone to talk with. They would come to my house whenever I need them and give me the attention and the support that I actually need. And slowly but surely, I began to regain my spirit. I began to understand that I don't have to forget those bad news. What I have to do is just accept it. Accept the loss of my dearest one and just let my grandmother rest peacefully for the rest of the time. And my friends do help me a lot because they give me the attention and the spirit that I really do need to be myself again. After those hard days, I began to learn that showing compassion to people can make a big difference. By big difference, I mean lots of difference. I used to think that those things can only happen to me, but apparently not. I slowly began to find that some of my friends were actually having a mental problem as well. For example, there used to be a friend of mine who did self-harm, such as cutting, just to forget his problems and to actually find peace and joy behind every scar that he made. So I reflect on what my friend used to do to help me, so I do the same thing as well. I gave him attention, I listened to all of his problems, helped him find the correct solution to all of his problems, and to slowly conquer those negative energies around him. And slowly but surely, he surpassed his depression and began to actually feel the joy of living in this world again. From that experience, I learned that showing compassion and giving attention to people can really help someone who is in a mental problem getting through their breakup moment. This idea about how a simple compassionate action can save many others is supported by research from Dr. Pina Baker, a professor of psychology at the University of Texas, which shows that the act of confiding in someone else helps the body against internal stresses that are the penalty for carrying an enormous emotional burden, such as unspoken remorse, stresses, or just any mental burden. So rather than just giving the threatened fact person chemical medicine to forget their problems, why don't we focus more on just being kind to each other? Help those who show signs of having a mental problems. Start by being a good person, a good listener, a good support, and just simply a good friend. I hope you enjoyed my speech, and I'm so sorry for all the wrongs that I've said before. Thank you so much for sticking with me through my short speech, and thank you so much for your attention.